What's up, everybody, man? We got a lot of great topics. We're hanging with Mark and Dougie. So we're
What's up,
excited,
everybody?
man. What's up, man? So I'm pretty excited. We have a lot of great topics. A lot of good stuff in the news, man. We're going to get right to it. You know what we're going to talk about first. We're going to talk about first. Who's my boy?
Your boy
Tom Brady.
Brady.
Yeah, you
Every
know what,
night,
man?
Mark is like sitting back on Brady. Oh, Tommy boy. Oh, Tommy. Leave Michelle. Leave
What?
Michelle.
Giselle, not Michelle. All right, listen,
Oh,
guys. I've had some debates. Me and my buddy Eric, we always get in this debate, and I'm going to get it in with the Doug a little bit. Now that Tom Brady has retired after 22 wonderful seasons where he went to 10 Super Bowls and won 7 of them, and I think if it wasn't for Bill Belichick, he'd have 8 or 9 because Belichick fucked a couple up. So we'll go from there. But he almost won again, was down by 25. His defense let him down, but you know what? I think he left on top. And there is a debate. There's a debate that's out there, and you hear it. You know, it's always two people. It's always Michael Jordan or Tom Brady. You know, and you know
like
what? I get it. Okay.
Like who's the greatest of the greats? Who's the best? The
Okay.
goats of the goats?
I think it's simple, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you why. I think it's Brady. And it's not because I love the guy, because I do. I'll tell you why. I mean, it's simple.
Surprise. Who's surprised? Mark is fucking voting for Brady here.
But listen, there's reasons why. I don't just get random. Listen, I don't love Jay Cutler.
I am listening.
I don't love Jay Cutler.
I am listening,
okay?
Mark. Everybody's listening.
I don't love Jay Cutler. There's a reason why I love Brady. First of all, I love the way he plays the game. Okay, I love what he puts into the game. I love where he doesn't whine, he doesn't play, he just plays the game. That's the first thing I love. I love that he went to 2 teams and won a Super Bowl with 2 teams. I love that he did it in 3 decades. I love that he did it in 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s. I love that he set every fucking record there is to set. Okay. Right. Jordan didn't do that. Jordan did it in 6 years. Okay. He was phenomenal. Probably the best in 6 years you'll ever see. But you know what? Without Scottie Pippen, he don't have Dick. He don't have Dick without Scottie Pippen. The first 6 years, he didn't win nothing. The last 2 years with the Wizards, he didn't win nothing. And don't forget, basketball is 1 out of 5 players. You're 20% of the team. You and Scottie Pippen are pretty much half the team. In football, you have 22 other players, offense and defense. So
you can't even say that, Mark. When it comes to football, there's the quarterback, the running back, and the receivers. That's it. I mean, if you're gonna compare it to basketball, it's a wholly different. Like in football, it's 50-50 defense, But if basketball, you can get away with a shitty defense, and have a great offense, So I'll give it.
There you go.
I'll give it to
you. Just answered my question, but go ahead.
No, but I'll give it to you regarding how he won championships on 2 different teams. That is impressive. Yet,
3 different decades. 3 different. If you got 3 different decades.
I slow down. You had your fucking chance. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Listen, Brady can't dunk a basketball. Brady can't hit a 3.
Brady can't throw a touchdown. So what does that mean?
Brady doesn't. I don't think. Listen, you may not believe this. I don't think Brady looks as good as Hanes underwear as Michael Jordan looks in them underwear. And you know what? And listen, Brady never played another pro sport. It's not like he was like a professional ice hockey player all of a sudden.
Balls in baseball. Anybody could have done what he did. What did he bat 160? Anybody could have done that. So is that?
Yeah,
but that's he starred. But did Tom Brady actually got a scholarship with the Angels, Major League scholarship, and he was a 2-sport. He was actually a 3-sport. He played basketball, baseball, and football.
I got a question for you. All right, is there a fucking Nike sneaker that has Tom Brady on it? Has there ever been anybody more touted? Oh, well, but he's not the greatest of the greats then. The greatest of the greats are the ones that want to be. Everybody wants a piece of that shit, and everybody wanted a piece. And to this fucking day, Jordan hasn't played in decades, and there's still people wearing fucking Jordan shirts. There's still people.
He came in at the right time. He came in.
Oh, listen, timing is schmite. It doesn't matter. He was fantastic. He was the icon. Listen, as great as some people think that Captain Cramps LeBron James is, he's the closest thing to come to Jordan, right? And he's still far from it in my mind. And, there's a lot of people in the quarterbacks that kind of get up there. There's a lot of football players, I should say, not just quarterbacks, because I'm not comparing just guards. Hold on a second, Mark. Let me finish. That we're not just comparing guards on guards. We're comparing football players are the greatest. Well, the greatest basketball players. And you know what? He listen. No one, you have a lot of people getting that kind of recognition. He's an icon. Jordan is an icon in a sport. Brady, as of this moment, is not the icon in the sport.
Oh,
He
he
could
is.
be and he
Oh,
will
I beg
be,
to differ.
but
I
he's
beg to
not
differ.
that shining icon. There's other people that are in those arenas with him, but Jordan stands alone in basketball.
All right, now can I demolish you after I let you talk for 2 minutes? Now here's the demolish. Here's where I drop the mic and we go on to something else, okay? Let me explain the difference between football and basketball, okay? Football, it's the best of 7, okay? The best team always wins because if you lose the first game, the next game you could win. You could lose 2 games in a row and still win. Football, it's one and done, baby. You have a bad snap, it's done, one and done. And there's a
Mm.
reason why. There's a reason why that nobody's even close to Brady with
Because you
Super
can't
Bowls.
get
There's a
lucky
reason
twice.
because Bill
Yeah.
Russell's got a lot of rings. No, because to get 7 rings, you got to be doing something right. Listen, they're both icons. I agree with that. They're both icons, but Brady surpassed what's his name? If Jordan would have
No
did it with
way.
the Wizards,
No way.
if Jordan would have did it
No
with
way.
the Wizards, I would say
No
yes,
way.
but he didn't. And don't forget,
Yeah.
you take listen, let me one more thing. When you took Jordan away from the Bulls, they were still relevant. They didn't win the championship when he went to play when he tried to play baseball. Now,
Hey,
keyword
hey,
was try.
hey, Mark, have you ever heard the expression "Air Jordan"? Because of he's that fucking, and he's doing that
Yes,
like dunk.
he
Yeah,
was
is there
great.
anything?
Listen, I'll put him at
Is
number
hold on a
2.
second. What is there any type of is there any type of euphemism or anything like that for Brady? Like
Terrific Tom.
downtown Brady.
Tom.
There's nothing. They don't
Terrific
have a
Tom.
fucking huh?
You never heard Terrific Tom? Terrific Tom. Terrific
Terrific
Tom.
Tom. What is he? What is
That's
he?
his
That's a
nickname.
guy. That's a guy you can find on Grinder. What are you talking about, Terrific Tom?
It's,
What's the fucking
Terrific
terrific?
Tom,
No,
man.
yeah,
Hey,
hold on a
you want to
second.
know
How many
something?
people out? How many people out there actually heard of Terrific Tom or Air
Everybody knows Tom.
Jordan? Come on, which one? Yeah,
Everybody knows.
everybody. I
Everybody
never
knows
heard of
Tom
it.
Brady. But listen,
Yeah.
he wasn't even the greatest dunker of his generation. Vince Carter was actually a better dunker. So if you want to talk about somebody, you can go Vince Carter because Vince Carter was a better dunker than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan
All right.
was
Why don't we
phenomenal.
just?
Don't get me.
All right. Well, while we're on that type of subject, Mark, why don't we say who is the best hiker? Like who is the best hiker in football?
I'll tell you
Who's
what,
the
it wasn't
hiker?
you.
No, I can't even bend
Hey,
over at this point.
you're not even in consideration on this one.
Nah, I'm not a hiker.
All right,
I don't want any guys.
so we're gonna.
Yeah, listen, I'm not like. Listen, hold on a second, Mark. I'm not like you. I don't want a guy's hands all over my ass.
Hey, listen. We're gonna all agree that I won this argument. We're gonna go on to the next one.
Okay.
We're all just gonna agree that I won this. All right. So the next
Okay,
question
Biden.
is. So the next question is: people or some people there are theories out there that Tom Brady might come back. There's theories because he kind of left the door open. He closed it and then he left it somewhat open. And he said in his podcast, I think yesterday or the day before, and he said, "Yeah, you never say never. You never say
Right.
never." But me personally, this might happen. This is the only way I think he comes back. He's not coming back to the Bucks. Okay, this is the only way he comes back, and it'd be kind of cool if he did this. Okay, he's going to take a year off, spend some time with the kids and everything, and then he's going to realize that he can't stand his wife and kids because
Yeah.
he's around 24/7. He's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, I'd rather get hit. Let me get back
Yeah.
out there." Giselle's a pain in the ass. My kids are, so he's going to get back on the field. He's going to go with a team like the 49ers. He's going to go to a West Coast team. He's going to bring them a championship, and then he's going to say, "Michael who? Michael what?" And it's going to end right there. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, and then maybe they'll have then they'll have a nice rocking chair made. They won't. Brady won't have sneakers or anything really big, but he'll have like a reclining chair. Like he'll team up with the My Pillow guy, and like My Pillow guy, like now my best friend.
Brady did it right, and this is what I give him credit for. He wasn't a fucking whore when it came to like commercials, and he wasn't like that kind of whore. He is becoming one now a little bit, and he actually has his own clothing line, which I will buy. It's called Brady Clothing Line, and I will buy it. I will support it, but it is Brady Clothing Line, and he's starting to come out now. It looks like it's comfortable actually, and if it's good enough
coming
for the
out,
goat,
Tom Brady's coming out. Tom Brady's coming out. Oh, Mark, you got a chance. Mark, you got that fucking hall pass. Mark, you got that hall pass. Listen, your girl's like, oh, you can fuck anybody, any woman. Oh, how about Tom Brady?
Why is it got to be a woman? I mean, I'm saying it's 2022. Why is it got to be a woman? All right, Let's get past all this, Tom Brady and everything. Let's go to Brian Flores. We're going to go from one thing to another thing, okay? I find it hard that it could be racism, and I'll tell you why. How did he get hired? What color was he when he got hired? Did he go as a white mask? did he get hired as a black man or a white man? So let me get this straight. The Dolphins said, let's hire this African American, let's keep him for 3 years, and then let's fire him because we're racist. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get that part of it. Okay. The fact of the matter is nobody's talking about he had a losing record in 3-year span. If you have if you have a losing record in anything you do, there's a chance you could get fired. But go ahead.
Well, they made the playoffs 2 years out of the 3. That's a question. But here's the thing. I think what may have happened is that he spent so much time in the South Florida sun that, the owner went, oh, my God, we hired a black guy, and they fired him.
One time in 3 years. Once out of 3 years.
Okay.
He only made it last year. Yeah, once. So he actually had a really bad record the year before.
Well, here's the thing. If somebody says, hey, you fired me because I'm black, what are the reasons they're saying they did fire him?
I don't know why. That's what he's saying. He didn't say because of black. He said that. And I just, like I said, the question I asked you, Doug, and maybe you can answer it. I don't know. Was he black when he got hired? If he was black when he got hired, I don't see the Dolphins being racist. They hired a black man. They fired a black man, but they also hired a black man.
Right. I understand your theory. Like, in other words, you hired him. Yeah. Therefore, it's hard to say that you don't, but I think
if you didn't like black people, I don't think you would hire him.
Isn't Flores just basically saying that there's like that lovely expression, what is it saying? Systemic racism. I mean, isn't that what he's basically saying? Hey, that there's listen, the team sucked. What, the team was like 0-6 at the beginning of the year this year, and then they got their shit together.
0-7,
and listen, if that's a pretty good achievement, like as a fighter, if you come down after getting your ass beat half the fight and win, that's huge. At least make it a respectful fight. But is he the coach? I mean, that's what I'm saying. What has he done wrong? There's, it's like, listen, if anybody's going to be fired, it should have been the coach from the fucking Bucks, or or it should have been when they kicked off and to the end zone, against the fucking,
Maybe they made that decision when he was 0-7. He said, finish out the year and you're gone. Maybe that decision was already made that they were moving forward. You know what I'm saying? When you lose 7 games in a row and you're supposed to be a contender, they were supposed to be a contender, and you lose 7 games in a row. That was the problem. But listen, regardless, if he went to the playoffs 3 straight years, he wouldn't be fired. I don't think he would. And I don't know how it could be racism if you hired a African American. If you don't hire him, then you can argue it, but you hired him and then you were a subpar and you got fired. I just think it's so easy as an excuse. I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. I don't know if it doesn't. Right. I think it's all around racism. I think there's racism for blacks, whites, everything.
So there's people that'll judge people at that moment, at a moment in time, and all of which we're going to. I mean, everybody has it now. How aggressive is it? How debilitating it is? How obstructive it is. Those are the aspects of something that are bad. Hey, if somebody doesn't like somebody, like I don't like people, I don't like, I don't like cactuses, I don't like this, whatever. I mean, who are you to tell a person how to fucking feel? If somebody doesn't like somebody or trust somebody, well, that's there. You know what I mean?
And if people hire whoever you want to hire.
Well, Florida's a right to work state. If you get fired in the state of Florida, they don't have to tell you why. They can tell you, I don't like people with mustaches, as long as it's not for your race, your sexual orientation, or your religion, and they can fire you for whatever.
I just think this opens the door for every time you can't succeed, you use the race card. There's a lot of coaches in the NFL that have had
that door's been fucking opened already. Hasn't that door been way fucking open for the last decade or so? Hasn't that? I mean, every time something happens, every time something happens about that.
And you really think the NFL's racist? Come on. They're the most pro minority I've ever seen in my life in any organization. They let you kneel for the national. They let you do whatever you want to do, the NFL. They don't give a fuck. I don't think they're a racist organization.
Isn't their argument is that there should be more black coaches? I mean, here's the, listen,
let's go quick, Doug, real quick. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
I was going to make a point. Listen, there's the African-American ratio in America is 14%. Okay, so if there's 4 black coaches, that's 14%. And let me tell you something. What do you want to hire 80%? You always get the best person for the job. If the best person, how many Indian coaches are there? How many Indian? How many Eskimo coaches are there? How many Latino coaches are there? Why are we always worried about one race? How many Chinese coaches are there?
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not going to be happy with the NFL until they hire a transgender coach. Okay,
that's next.
I want to see a gay transgender coach.
you go this way, and then you meet in the middle. But
I
I don't
mean,
understand the play. You don't need to.
I think that everybody looks at these things. Listen, if a job opens and candidates come in, let's say 8 coaches come in, 3 black, 5 whatever, and they end up hiring whatever, then you would hope that the person is going to hire the best of the best of who they like. You're the coach of your team. It's your quarterback. You want to get the best of the best. I don't think you're looking at the color of the person. I don't think you care. I think you're just
No.
caring about their abilities, right, and their character and all kinds of other shit. Now the question is that are the amount of are there people getting opportunities, and here's the thing about that. Opportunities should not just be given. Opportunities are grabbed. They're taken. They're
You
fought
earn them.
for.
You earn them. You earn
Opportunities
them.
in this fucking country have not been something, oh, let's let out the roll of opportunities. You know what I mean? They're there. They're not like, oh, an opportunity sometimes can't even be fucking focused on until it's, oh, I didn't realize that's a good opportunity. Like, is it a good opportunity to fucking coach the Tampa Bucks? Is it a good opportunity to coach, some shit team somewhere? You know what I mean? It is what
But
it
then,
is. And
but okay, go ahead. But getting back to what I was saying, and yes, I agree with what you're saying. Up to getting back to saying, if you look at the ratio of African Americans in the United States, the ratio is correct. You can if you have half black coaches and half white coaches, then that's not diverse because there's less blacks than there is whites. And why
but let me
couldn't we
ask
have
you
a
a question.
Chinese?
Let me ask you a question,
I
Mark.
think it's the
Like,
best person
would
regardless.
you give a shit? Would you actually give a shit if 80% of the coaches in the NFL were black? I wouldn't
No,
give a
if they were
fuck.
good, no. If they were good,
No,
no, no,
I wouldn't
no.
even say that. If I don't give a fuck, I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck how many. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do I give a fuck that 80% of the professional athletes out there are black? No, I don't give a fuck. This is what they do. This
And
is
the
the way
funny
the
thing is,
world
look,
is.
yes, Doug, half the coaches of the NBA are black. So it's not a problem in sports, okay? All the kickers are white. So we can get more black people kicking jobs. All the
You're right.
linebackers are black. I mean, what's
You're right.
going on? I mean, it's just
I've never seen a black field goal kicker.
we need we're gonna get one. Even if he kicks 4 yards, we're gonna get one because we have to have one. He misses a right extra point. He misses again. You know what I'm saying? So why are we complaining? It's the right person for the right. I'm not mad that
Yeah.
the NBA is 80% a black. I'm not mad because listen. I guess 80% of those are better than the 20%. It goes for the best person. Maybe as
Right.
coaching, maybe the more white coaches are better coaches than black. Who knows? I don't know the reason why it is, but it's not racism because if you think about it, if there was zero black coaches, I'd say okay. But like we got, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Systemic racism to basically say that that's the way it is. Basically what you're saying is across the entire NFL, in every position of power, every coach, like if you're a head coach, he wants to hire a defensive line coach, because that's where you become a head coach. You're not the guy carrying the fucking Gatorade and all of a sudden, hey, I want that guy to be coach. They have to be
The water,
people that are going through this process.
of course.
You're not the manager of a Publix until you stock the fucking shelves, right, and scrub the floors. So that's you got to do that. So that's where those levels come up as opportunities. And unless what systematic racism is basically suggesting is that in every facet, when it comes to that decision, someone's going, he's black, I'm not going to fucking do. You know what I mean? And I don't buy that. I really don't buy that in this day and age. Like I said, you and I are not saying there's not racism, but I really doubt in a professional organization, right? You have people like, hey, I'm not going to hire some black guy on my team. You know what I mean? You don't have that shit. And to
But I
suggest it
think
is almost like,
I also think it's racist to force it. To say you have to have, now they're giving draft picks for if you hire an African American coach, you get an extra draft pick. I think that's racist because now you're not giving the best person for the job. It should always, like we said before, how many Indian coaches are there? How many Chinese coaches? How many Japanese coaches? None. There's none. So then that's racism. Then how many gay coaches are there? How many whatever there is.
I wonder though. I wonder. I always think of the intention of something and whether it's good or bad. The results you can't tell until the results or non-results come out, right? But the intention of something. So if that is to say, hey, if you guys hire a black coach, you'll give you a better draft pick or give you some advantage that way. I think that's not bad because
it's happening. It's happening.
Is it?
It's happening.
I'm not too bad.
Yeah,
I'm not too bad with that because I'm like, why not? Then coaches who are on the fence, hopefully that'll, hope if anything, all I think that really will do is bring more people into consideration. You know what I mean?
Not
You
fair.
would hope the
Not fair.
teams.
Not
Yeah, I think it's only. I think
Right.
it actually is
Why is
fair
it
if actually
no, no, no.
more people get. Hold on. I think it's actually fair if it actually wakes some people up to try to give more people the opportunity to be looked at. That in no way should
People,
guarantee they get a spot, but I think that more people are given the opportunity to interview
I'll tell you why
because of
it's
that.
wrong.
I
I'll
think
tell you
that's
why
not
it's wrong.
bad.
Tell you why it's wrong, okay? Because if you got somebody that a white, Hispanic, Indian, I don't give a shit what color they are, a non-African American, okay, and they're up for a job and they're slightly better than the African American opponent, but you get a draft pick with him. Now you get a draft pick with him. You're going to go with that. You might not hire that Indian or that.
I'm
The
not. I'm
best person
hiring
for
the
the job.
guy, and I'm taking the two part. I'm getting more value. I'm
Why
getting
do we have
both.
to
I'm
make
taking the cut.
exactly? There you go. There you go. Why do we got to
Nah, I'm
make
gonna.
excuses in America? Stop making excuses. Stop using race. Stop using it. It's ridiculous. Okay. No team in the NFL is going to want to lose. If a black coach is a good coach and he can take you to the promised land, they're going to hire him. Stop it. It's just ridiculous. Flores got hired from the Heat.
I think we got to move on there. I think we got to move on, Mr. Grand Wizard. But I think just fucking.
I don't think. You know what? It's
No, no.
nothing
Hold
to
on a
do with
second.
you.
No, no, no. Listen, I just think it's the idea to try to corral more opportunity, and that's it. And then, of course, what you hope
Okay,
is
woke
that
Dougie.
the
Okay,
talent. Now,
woke Dougie.
here's the thing. I think in time, you're right. Now, if these opportunities are there, and say, hey, and they're not being filled, and it's not has to do because nobody's doing it, then it's a waste of time. And you got to
They're
fill. You
being
got to
filled.
have
They're
the.
being
I mean, we get the same stuff in Wall Street, and like if you watch CNBC and some of these financial channels, you see a good mix of minorities and whites on the screen more than in the last 5 years. And these are smart folks. This is, it's like, but that's the thing. So when I think of it, that's why I'm a little more, let's say, flexible on that, because I've seen it and I'm like, hey, man, this is great. This guy's awesome. I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck what the color is whatever's coming out of their mouth making sense.
What do you really
I don't
think
give a
cares
shit.
about color? Nobody does. Nobody. That's what the media wants you to think that the people by watching
Right.
these commercials. Everything's just making people hate each other more. They're just putting more division. That's all they're doing. The media is putting more division. People get along. We generally get along. It's not. It's all bullshit. You don't need
Let's
to. If
move
you're
on.
a good coach, no. I'm going to make the last statement because you made a statement. If you're a good coach, you don't need any other. I think it's a slap in the face that you have to throw something else in there, because if you're a good coach, you're going to get hired. End the story. Okay. Next thing. Mark wins that battle too, so I'm 2 for 2. All right, so we're gonna go with Neil. We're gonna go with Neil Young. Neil Young urges Spotify workers. Go ahead. I'll let you go. I'll let you tell the story.
There you go. Read it. You started it.
Okay.
I mean.
Neil Young urges Spotify workers to quit as Trump tells Joe Rogan to stop apologizing. And you know what? I have no problem with Trump telling him to stop apologizing because he did nothing wrong. He said something. Okay, we've all said, no. Well, hold on, Doug. Hold on. He said something he probably should have said, like Whoopi Goldberg. Didn't have no problem with what she said either, to be honest with you. I have a problem with it, but it's freedom of speech. Okay. From what I heard, and I don't know the whole Joe Rogan case, and I don't think anybody knows, from what he's telling us, and I got to believe what he's telling me, he's saying he used it in the context of what was said. He said, okay, he said the N-word, which he probably shouldn't have used, but he used it in context. He didn't say this N-word. He said that maybe this guy said this word, blah, blah, blah. So he used it in context, okay, how it was used somewhere else.
Let me interject. A few of the stories that he talked about that on his podcast was about Red Fox and how Red Fox would, he'd say Red Fox would say it. And basically what Joe Rogan was saying is that he's not going to say, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to say, and he said the N-word. And he said, and Red Fox was telling the story and he said that, and he says it. And then, of course, he said the same thing about Richard Pryor, I mean, they said it, Richard Pryor said it on a Saturday Night Live skit with Chevy Chase. And I think it's Richard Pryor has... Chevy, exactly. Am I they're gonna bother him now? And even Richard Pryor had it as an album cover, one of his albums. It was the name of his album, and I think it's but here's the thing, dude. The thing that always gets me, and I'm here as a white man. I'm Hispanic, but I'm as a white man. I'm here to tell my fellow white people, please stop making any reference to Planet of the Apes. No, there is no win. I mean, unless you're talking about, the famous scene with the main guy who covers that fucking thing. Charlton Heston, when he's talking to the Statue of Liberty, don't reference white people. Don't even fucking think of Planet of the Apes, because no matter how you try to say what you were trying to say, that was the worst part of what that whole
You
thing
know what the
was.
problem is? Doug, hold on one second. Okay, because you know, here's the problem, man. Here's the problem in America. The problem is, okay, we're going to disagree on this, and that's okay. We disagree on a lot of things, okay. And you know the person I am and everything, so it doesn't matter. But I'm saying, if the
I
word
like
is
women,
so
you like
horribly
men.
wrong, if the word's so horribly wrong, which I agree, it's not a good word. It's not a nice word. I don't use it.
It's a
Okay.
horrible word.
But nobody should use it. I don't say because I'm black, I can say it. It's a bad word. It means negativity. No one uses it.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes me laugh. The whole thing makes me laugh. Baby, it's cold outside. When that song came out, I'm like, oh my god, he's trying to get to go outside and bang her. This is fucking horrible. And then a rap group comes up and they say n, and they say the N word every 2 seconds. Okay, slap that bitch in the ass, put a dick in him out. But that's not horrible. But baby, it's cold outside. It's got to go. It's got to fucking go.
Yeah.
So this culture is fucked up. If it's a bad word, stop using it, and nobody uses it. End of story.
That's why I slightly disagree with you. And especially after reading and watching everything happen with Rogan, one of the things he said in his videotape was it's their word. Like, I have no need for the word, right? And
no one has need for that word. No one has need for that word.
Mike, can I finish my fucking thought? So my point is that I think that if with all the black man has dealt with in this country, right, and everything, and I think that's theirs. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. It's just like a gun. It's like Mark. Let me finish. Mark, let me finish. It's their word. If they want to use it, abuse it, and destroy it, all it does in one of two things: it'll either perpetuate similarity. It's your word. You do what you want with it. If you want to keep using it, all that shit, and you get.
What's our word?
We got everything else, Mark. We got everything else. We got more football coaches. We got more white football coaches. We got more pole vaulters. We got more field goal kickers. We've got more fucking field goal kickers.
That's the problem. That's the problem with woke culture. We have more. We don't have more. We're equal. We're all equal on this planet in 2022, bro. We're all equal. It's actually going the other way a little bit, but we're all equal. So that's the problem we're having. People saying, well, they get to have this and we get to have. No, we're all equal. We're all human beings. No, we all get to have the same shit. We're all Americans. End of story. We're all Americans. We want to be treated. We want to get rid of racism. Like Morgan Freeman says, we're all people. You're not black. I'm not white. You're a person. I'm a person, and get over it. Get over all this woke culture. Get over the race card. Get over all this shit, because until you get over it, we're going to have this division forever.
Yeah, well, just judge people for what they do and their behavior, not for anything else.
Yes.
Make it simple.
Boom. You don't have to give a free draft pick. Whoever's the best person gets it. I don't care if it's a transgender albino from anywhere. I don't care.
Now your new coach for the New York Jets.
I can't see him. Where's he at? He's wearing white.
Candace Chandelier.
Yeah, but let's get past all that, because the more we talk about it, the more people divide people. So,
listen, well, hold on. It's the hypocrisy of, like, it was funny with Whoopi Goldberg. She gets suspended. Now here's the thing about with Rogan. Rogan said this years ago, before a lot of this shit is transpired, before this stuff. He said it a long time ago. You know what I mean? Whoopi Goldberg said this a week ago. You know what I mean? It's not like she said this decades ago. She said it just fucking a week ago. That's the difference between judging what somebody said in a different context. You know what I mean? She said it on a fucking TV show that has millions of fucking hoople-headed women.
It was so bad. What she said was so bad that Joy Behar said, "What the fuck?" And she's a moron, Joy Behar. She's a when Behar has a problem with you said, you're fucked up. You said something, and what she said was so irresponsible. It was so evil. It was so stupid.
With Joey Behar, when Joey Behar makes a face like this.
What she said was 10 times worse than what Joe Rogan said. 10 times worse, because these people were massacred.
Yeah, we got the video of what she said. So if you haven't seen it,
the Holocaust isn't about race. It's not about race. What is it about? Because it's about
look at her. Look at Joy Behar.
Humanity to man.
Whoopi Goldberg has been.
It's man's inhumanity to man. You know what she really wanted to say there, by the way, Whoopi? She wanted to say it was a white man
trying to wield his white power. That's what she really wanted to fucking say.
It
That's
wasn't,
the
it was
she
obvious it
filtered.
wasn't
I can
white
tell
on
you.
white.
I can tell you right now, it was to that's what she's saying. A white, powerful man was dictating and trying to rule the world. That's what she wanted to fucking say. And then she thought, oh, I'll just say this and it won't be as bad. And now look at her. I think my question is fuck her. And then the whole staff are basically saying, oh, bring her back. This is unfair. She's been suspended for 2 weeks. She fucking insulted insulted one of the worst, fucking catastrophes in our.
You're talking about the worst catastrophes, 10 times worse than any other catastrophe ever. And she, it was a grain of salt to her, and that's how she feels. And let me tell you something. That's how she feels. She's an evil person. She's an evil bitch.
That's
that
other stupid bitch. The other stupid bitch on the show that's supposed to be real smart. That girl Sunny. She's like, yeah, the Holocaust wasn't as bad as January 6th.
I'm just so tired of this, man. This is why I have this show, to vent. I'm so tired of it being one way and not the other way. If Joe Rogan is in trouble for saying a word several years ago, this bitch should be off the air. I have no problem if she's not. And you leave Joe Rogan alone. Freedom of speech is for all colors. Okay? We're all equal on this planet. If you want to start being equal, start acting equal. That's what I'm saying.
Great.
Let's get on to The Masked Singer.
What
a bunch of tools these two fucking knuckleheads are. Robin Thicke, that stupid song. He had one song in his whole life. That's all he had.
That he stole from Marvin Gaye. By the way.
And Kenny Jong, who has a 1-inch penis. We all seen that in Hangover. The smallest dick ever in the. He is the biggest dick, but he has the smallest dick. The biggest dick has the smallest dick. Okay, these two fucking clowns. And when I say clowns, they're fucking clowns. You fucking get that bitter and that upset because you don't see the guy takes his mask off and he's a conservative and you get to storm off the show? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how juvenile that is? They should be kicked off air.
Yeah, I think if the now listen, the problem is with The Masked Singer, you have who's hosting it. You got Nick Cannon hosting it, who said plenty of anti-Semitic things that were really fucking bad, and he's still working. Yeah. And then of course you have Thicke. He stole fucking music from somebody and made millions on it. Listen, as a comic, I love Kenny, but listen, show some balls. Why can't you you're gonna leave the room? What are you, fucking 5? It's like, just sit there and listen, if I hated somebody so bad, I wouldn't walk away. It's almost like when the people from The View walked out when somebody was on there. Remember, they just couldn't take it anymore, so they walked out.
Gene Pereira.
Yeah, they because I knew they couldn't fucking hang with Judge fucking Pereira.
Well, that's what it is. She'll bury him. She's too smart.
Yeah, she knew they're gonna run and hide, and that's, in a sense, that's the weakness that Alan Thicke and Kenny Jong sold. Listen, I don't care how much you despise somebody. You fucking got hired to be on that fucking show. Do your fucking job. You're supposed to do the banter on there. You should have said, "Oh my God, actually, as bad as you sing, you were better than that." You could have been funny about it. You could have said, as bad as you sang, and you could have. It wasn't. It wasn't as bad as your handling of his Trump.
They're too offended. And that's the problem.
Gotta get out of here. I can't take this, you fucking pussies.
Exactly. A bunch of pussies, and that's what they are on the left. They're a bunch of pussies. Listen, we got time for one more story. I'll let you pick it. You got all the stories. We have one more time for one more story.
God. Well, fuck the Washington fuck the Washington Redskins. The Commanders.
They're not the Redskins. The Commanders.
The Commanders. And then of course we have the Southwest Airlines is going to start bringing alcohol back to select flights.
I thought they always had alcohol. I've had drinks.
No, they went dry for 2 years. There was because of all the fights. Southwest said no more fucking drinking, and then they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring it back. They're gonna bring it back this month in February, a couple weeks, this week sometime in select cities.
I mean, how fucking drunk can you get? It's like $9 for a half an ounce. You guys spend like $400 to catch a buzz. I mean, how do you even get a buzz on a flight? All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Next story.
Why not? Well, then we have, of course, the Michigan mom says SpongeBob SquarePants told her to kill a 3-year-old. That's sad. Let's just forget about that story. I mean, look at it. I mean, when you listen to a fucking fictitious character to kill your 3-year-old, which irks the fuck out of me because I wanted to have a child. My wife and I try to have a child and do all that shit. And we didn't. And for this fucking idiot, what's that, SpongeBob? I should get rid of little Becky? Okay.
What Patrick? Wait, what did Patrick Starfish say? Oh, you're evil? Hold on. I mean, that's exactly. You know, that's the problem. I mean, maybe SpongeBob has these messages. Maybe the Beatles had messages in their songs. Maybe SpongeBob, if you play it backwards, is like, fuck you, kill your mom. Who knows? SpongeBob could be evil. You know what? I'm not watching.
What's that SpongeBob? I should go buy some Tom Brady wear. Oh, okay. I'll go buy some Tom Brady wear. I think the story we should end on is The Secrets of Playboy.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's so funny. You know, I have mixed feelings about this. I'll tell you why. If this guy was so evil, Hugh Hefner, and he was forcing alcohol and drugs on people and forcing women to have orgies, okay? Two questions I asked these women, just two questions. First question, why'd you wait 3 years after his death? He only lived to 1,009. You had plenty of years to fucking rat him out. You didn't even know where he was at his last year. You could have ratted out to his face. He was senile as fuck, you know? And some of these women, I was watching the Playboy special, like, it was terrible what he did for me from 1982 to 2006. I hated every moment of every day for 962 days. I was tortured. But couldn't you have left? Well, I could have. But then I couldn't ride in his Mercedes, and I couldn't have big pool parties with Hugh Jackman. You know, that wouldn't have worked, you know? And I was forced to do both.
I'd have to go get a job at Denny's, you know?
Yeah. I could work at Hooters, or I could do blow at Hugh Jackman. Let me think about which one I want to do. But that's the issue I have. Listen, if you really had a problem, and maybe he was fucking an evil person, come out. Fucking come out. Don't wait till the fucking guy dies and he can't defend himself. Wait till he's alive. Call him out while he's alive.
I don't think he was an evil person. I think everybody has a place in this world. We know perversion and sex sells. So there are going to people that are going to do that. It's like prostitution. There are people that can't do anything else, and that's what they're born to do. You know, and I will say this: they were throwing this poor guy under the bus some years even before he died, because they're one of those documentaries they had. Some lady went on there and she was like bad mouthing him because they said he had premature ejaculation. He had the OPE, and nothing's more embarrassing than being a woman telling you that you can't last more than 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, when I come is the perfect time. Hey, if it's 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 4 minutes. Hey, like Dave Chappelle says, there's no such thing as premature ejaculation. When it happens, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just have a problem with this because, you know, I hate like the Kavanaugh case. And listen, women do get forced into things without a doubt. Okay, without a doubt. And for those cases, it should be heard. Okay, definitely should be heard. But when you wait till this guy's long gone, and you're telling me for 8 years you were forced to do cocaine, and the house is open, you can leave anytime you'd like. You were enjoying the moment. You might not liked how he treated you after it, but you enjoyed the moment, and that's the problem I have.
This wasn't. What was the guy? Remember Kelly? Kelly would have people locked in the house. Right, he would kidnap people and keep them, but he was dealing with 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds, right, and being very using his power to keep them around. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's, you know, all I know is I wish he was alive. I wish Hugh was alive again so he could tell us how he got women to have orgies. Because
well, I think it was pretty simple. Hold on, Doug. I can help you out with this. You lay $2 million on the bed and fucking put a bag of Coke and a bag of Quaaludes. I think it's self-explanatory how he did it. I mean, you know, I don't think the guy from Denny's, Joe Schmidt from Denny's can't have the same orgy power as Hugh Hefner. Okay, I think they liked him because he was sexy, because he was very well built and he was handsome. That's why they were having sex with him.
How about, I don't have $2 million, but how about a couple $100, some Reese's, and some Snow Pops?
Yeah, you'll get a couple sea cows, but you're not going to get any quality. You might get quantity, but you definitely aren't getting quality.
The women I bring into my orgy are so big, it only takes 2 of us to have an orgy. Per pound, baby. It's all per pound.
That being said, we're well over again, which we always are. This was actually a lot of fun, man. Guys, listen, we learned a lot about Doug.
This show doesn't suffer from premature ejaculation. This show just goes on and on.
It doesn't one bit. But listen, man, you know, if you get a chance to see Doug, man, he was like on, he had a little spot on Jimmy Leno or Jimmy Kimmel. He had a little spot yesterday, man. That was cool, man. Hey, every bit counts, man. But if you get a chance to see Dougie, man, he's funny. I've seen him several times. I think he's hilarious. Where are you going to be, Doug?
Oh, man, go to DougieAlmeida.com. I had a lot of dates in Florida canceled because of COVID and stuff, but we'll be back at Tavolino's on March 23rd. Myself, Steve Marshall's the headliner. Bear Webb, Coral Springs' favorite, is our feature. March 20th at Island Grill at Isla Mirada. It'll actually be Steve Marshall, myself, and Brittany Brave from Miami will be out there. And I'll be in Looney's Comedy Corner in Colorado Springs. Going to go see my buddy Anthony Marino and rap out there.
Nice.
And I think the Gooth may come out. Hansi may come out too as well. So got a lot of shit
be
going
careful on the jokes you tell. Be careful on the jokes you tell. He's not going to be happy with you. He's not going to be happy with you. Me, like I said, man, as far as me, I like to buy, I like to sell. Come to my shop at 418 North Federal Highway. We've got a great shop here. We're buying everything, man. You got baseball cards. A couple of cards just sold for over $1 million, man. It's been happening a lot lately. So if you have your hobbies, if you have your cards, your records, your gold, your silver, bring it to me, man. I'll tell you what it's worth. We'll go over the computer. I'll show you what's worth. I'll show you what I'll pay. It's a lot of fun. And everybody, stop making excuses in life, man. Just do it. Don't be afraid to do things, man. It can be done. Just stop making excuses and just do it. Everybody, peace out. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Boom.
Yeah.